Hello everyone, this is Elias5891. Welcome to another KTANE module tutorial. This time we're going over the Battleship module. If you're familiar with the logic puzzle of that name, this should be very familiar. If you're familiar with the board game, there'll be some similarities you'll see. This is a module that requires edge work, so we're going to get that first. 4 batteries in 3 holders. One indicator. We actually don't even know which one. One indicator. Let's go ahead and write it. Lit FRQ and then 2 ports. Serial parallel port. Serial number is Z Papa 6 Hotel Alpha 2. Alright, before we dig into the live one, let's take a look at a before and after of one that is and is not completed. So this is what the module looks like. On the left you'll see a incomplete module, and here on the right you'll see a complete one. For the diffuser, there are 3 buttons they can hit: radar, water, torpedo, which will have different effects we'll describe. And then there's this grid of 25 squares. And in this grid, you'll notice there are numbers along the top and along the left. And as you can see here from my finished one, the number indicates how many squares are marked by these white pieces. So those would be parts of ships. For example, this row has 3. This column has 0. It's all water, which is the other option if it's not a ship. This one has 4. Notice they are not necessarily consecutive. And actually they usually won't be, because down here we have a listing of what ships appear in this grid. In this case, it was telling us there's 1 ship of length 4. You'll see that's right here. 1 ship of length 2, right here. And 3 ships of length 1, here, here, and here. Now we'll use some logic prep, some edge work to figure out where these are. But a few things I want to discuss before we get into that, or one big idea, is you'll notice that of these ships, none of them touch. They don't touch horizontally, vertically, they don't touch diagonally. That is a rule of this module, and is sometimes beneficial in solving it quicker, if not required to solve it at all. So having seen that, let's actually go over a real one. So let's do... which one looks good? I like the look of this one. Now, I've seen people do this as the diffuser on the bomb live. I've seen people give it to an expert and have the expert do it and just repeat the answers. Let's do the first one as if we're just giving it to an expert. You'll see I've got a little grid down here, which is what I personally use, or rather I use a handwritten copy of this. There is an interactive manual page for this, which you can find on the katane.timway.de site that is in the comment section down below. But we'll not use that because we're going to keep things simple. Well, we're going to keep things complex, but this is the way I learned it. That was not available when this first came out. So, if I'm the diffuser, I'm going to read across the top and then down the side the numbers so that my expert can write them down. So I would say 31213, 12304. And then I also need to tell him how many of each ship there are. This is going to be really easy for this one, but generally I would read the number of 4s, number of 3s, number of 2s, number of 1s. So this would be 1, 1, 1, 1. 1, 1, 1, 1. And let's actually take a look at, let's work through this one as the expert. Well, sizing's a little off, that's okay. So you'll see here, that works. So you'll see here, this row has 0 ship pieces in it. It's all water. So let's go ahead and color this watercolor. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this one has 4 in it. For this one to have 4, it's either going to be the 4 here on the left or the 4 here on the right. But notice this is the only place the 4 piece can go because I don't have any other rows or columns that can hold 4 pieces at all. So we know it goes here in this row. We know it has to go on the left side or the right side. But either way, it's going to cover these 3 squares here in the middle. So we can go ahead and mark these 3 as parts of ships. Those are going to be things that we torpedo. From there, we only have 1 ship piece in each of these columns, and I've already marked that 1 ship piece. So I know the rest of it must be water. This particular row needs 3 ship pieces. So that's going to be, there's only 3 spots left, so 1, 2, 3. That fills up my 2 column, so water here. And this actually leaves me to a point where I need a little more information. I know that I'm going to plop a piece of a ship here. Notice there's only one piece ship, so both of these are going to have to extend. And we have 2 in this row, so we can actually go ahead and mark those. But here we have an ambiguous situation. We can't, just based on what we have here, tell if we need to put the last 2 ship pieces in these corners or these corners. Logic alone does not do that. That is where the edge work comes in, as well as the radar button. What we could do is, using some rules in our manual, we can figure out some spots that we can radar, which when we radar them, it will tell us if that spot is a ship piece or not, so it'll give us the water torpedo just flat out. The way that we get those safe spots to radar is right here in the manual. So we're going to take the first letter and the first digit of the serial number. In this case, that is Z6. And it specifies here, add or subtract 5 to the letter digit until it's either A through E or 1 through 5. So when it comes to adding or subtracting 5 to letters, it just means move that many letters in the alphabet. So Z or Z is the 26th letter. So we're going to subtract 5 repeatedly until we get in the range of A through E, which is the 1st through the 5th. So Z is 26, 21, 16, 11, 6, 1. So that's going to be an A. And then 6 is outside of the range of 1 through 5. So we're going to subtract 5 from it to give us 1, A1. And on my actual grid, these are your columns, A, B, C, D, E. These are your rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So A1 is this top left corner. And lo and behold, that's one of the ones that we're a little ambiguous on. That alone will actually solve us what we need to complete this module, but let's figure out what the other safe spots would have been anyway. So Z6 gives us a 1. After that, we take the second letter and second digit, and if we have 3 letters and 3 numbers, we take the third of each. So B would be my second letter, 2 would be my second number, and that's within range anyway, B2. And then for your third and final one, you're going to convert the number of ports into a letter. There are 2 ports, so we're going to use the second letter, B. And you're going to use the number of indicators plus batteries to get the digit. We had 4 batteries and 1 indicator. 4 plus 1 is 5. So that's B5, which is also in my grid. So I don't need to actually radar B2 or B5 because I know what they are, but these are my radar spaces. So what do we do with that? Well, if we look here at the bomb itself, let's go ahead and read them all off to our diffuser. Diffuser radar, so they're going to click the radar button. A1, B2, B5. So that gave us the 3 pieces of information. It does give us what we need to solve this. They would read back A1 is water, B2 is water, B5 is ship. Or they might just say B5 is a hit, the others are misses. Various different ways you can communicate that. But let's go ahead and put in that that's water, which means to get 1 in this row, we go here. To get 3 in this column, we go here. And then we don't need that one, and that's our solution. So now we're ready to give the solution. So we tell them, go ahead and torpedo. And what I've seen different people do this different ways. What I personally prefer to do is to pick a spot on a ship, like this spot, read its starting coordinate, so this would be A2, and then give a direction and a number of spaces, or a length of the ship, rather. So I would say A2 down 2. So that means it's a ship starts at A2, goes down, and it's 2 in length. A5, which would be here. A5, right 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. C3, which is center. And then E1, down 3. And you'll see, as soon as I get all the ships in, I don't actually have to mark all the water. Getting the ships hit finishes up the module. So we've done that one. Let's do one more. Still erase the board. Let's do this one beside it. We have 22030, 21211, ships 0112, 04s, 13, 12, 21s, 0112. And let's go ahead, since we know these safe spots that we can radar, let's go ahead and do those. That's A1, B2, and B5. So they'd tell me A1 is a hit, B5 is a hit, B2 is a miss. Well, let's see what we can get. Well, we need 0 in this column, 0 in this column. So there's that done. We need a 3-length ship that's got to go in this column somewhere. So it's either going to go here in the top, or it's going to go in the middle 3 here, or it's going to go in the bottom 3 here. But in all 3 of those possibilities, that center square is covered. So that's going to be a hit. We only need 1 in this row, so we can call these both water. Let's see, from here, we know this one has to be a ship, because now it's either the top 3 or the bottom 3. So this becomes a ship. Only need 1 in this row, so this becomes water. And here's a little trick, which there's a couple ways we could get the next step, but what I'm going to do is, I know, as I said earlier, ships can't touch. So either this is a 1-piece ship, or it's a 2-piece ship, or it's a 3-piece ship. Well, it can't be a 3-piece ship. It's either a 1-piece or a 2-piece ship. Either way, this square here is next to it, diagonally or adjacent to it. And I said different ships can't touch, and these two can't be part of the same ship, because ships can't go diagonally. Therefore, I know this has to be water. 2 in the column means this is a hit. 2 in the row means this is a water. So there's one of my singles. So again, I've got 2 options. If, and I'm going to mark this green just for testing purposes. If I went here and here, I can't do that because then I've got ships touching on the corner here. So I actually know this has to be water because it can't touch this ship, which means this is my 1 for the row, which means I only need 3, so this is water, this is ship. So I would read off A1, right 2. Hello, I have errored somewhere. Oh, no I haven't. Notice I'm still marked on radar. And that is something very easy to do. I did it here and didn't even realize it. When you want to be torpedoing, you have to be in torpedo mode. Otherwise, it thinks you're still guessing a safe location. This square here, B1, was not a safe location, so it penalized me and gave me a strike. Now notice it did go ahead and show me what it was. If you get a space right or wrong, or if you get a space wrong for any reason, it will reveal what the space should have been. But by doing that, I've given myself a strike. So let's actually switch to torpedo and do this. So A1, right 2, A3, B5, D2, down 3. Module solved. Now let's do one more, and this time let's just do it directly on the module. And we'll flip to the other side so we can see the timer and get nervous. Let's do this one. We'll not worry about safe spots unless we need them. I have a 0 here, so I know all these need to be water. And instead of hitting the water and clicking them all individually, which I can do, you'll notice when I highlight a number, it has kind of the water symbol on top of it. If I click the number, then that's the same thing as telling the module, hey, I think this whole, in this case, row is water. And it'll try to fill it in, the whole thing. If that's correct, it'll fill them all in. If it's not, it'll give you a strike. And it won't give you any information, so be aware. I have 4 in the top row, so I need the left 4 or the right 4. Either way, I got to cover these 3 in the middle. Because I cover those 3 in the middle, I only need 1 in this column, so the rest of it's water, so I can click the number to cover the rest of it in water. Likewise, I know that's the only one I need in that column, so the rest of it is water. I need 3 in this row. I've only got 3 left, so that's going to be all of those. And then 2 things I can do here. I can go about this either way. I can say either, well, here's a ship. It's horizontal. I can't put another ship next to it, so these must be water, because I can't put a different ship next to it. Or, I don't have any 1 ships, so this has got to go a little further somewhere. Can't go up, can't go left, can't go right, so it has to go down. Likewise, I know it's not a 3 ship, so it's not going to get any bigger. Also, I've got the 2 that I need in this column, so this column's done. This was my 4 ship, so I'm going to fill it in. And 2 squares left, and I need a 2 ships, so that finishes it up. We'll see if we can get 1 more in real quick. None in the column. None in the column. Now this is trickier. I need a single 3 ship, but I've got 2 spots it could be in. So I can't really pick a single square here and make that jump. Likewise, it's a little harder to make any sort of educated guess on what I can do with these 2s yet. So let's go ahead and get the safe spots. So in this case, I would ask my expert for the safe spots on Battleship. And they tell me A1, B2, B5, so I'll A1 radar. That's water. That's helpful. These become torpedoed. These are watered because ships can't be adjacent. That gets hit. From here, that could be a 1 by itself, so we may need to think ahead. We need to fit a 3 in. This 3, it can't be 3 in this column because I've already separated them. So it has to be 3 in this column. That's all I need in this row. That's all I need in this column. I need 2 in this row. I need 3 in this column. And I managed to get that one pretty close to when time ran out. But that's pretty much how you do the Battleship module. These are on screen in case you want to see if you can do them on your own. Actually, that's not fair because you won't be able to see what the safe spots were. So to give you a chance to test it out, I'm going to pull it up again. I'm going to we'll figure out the safe spots and mark them. And so let's see. Whoop. Serial number is 9X3VS6. So it's going to be first letter, first number. That's X9. Oops. First letter, first number is X9. Second letter, second number is V3, S6, and then the last one is number of ports, 0. 0 is not a letter, so we add 5 to it, 5, E. And then batteries plus indicators, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, E6. X is too high. X is the 24th, so 24, 19, 14, 9, 4, just repeatedly subtracting 5. So fourth letter, 9, subtract 5 is 4, so that's D4. Victor, V. V is the 22nd letter, so 22, 17, 12, 7, 2, B, 3. S6, S is 19, 14, 9, 4, D, 6 minus 3 gives me 1, and then E, 6 minus 3 gives me 1. So my radar squares are B3, D1, E1, D4. So I'm going to go ahead and mark this on all of these. I will pause for just a second and do that. Back and ignore the extra square here. I got a little button happy and missed. But here are your radar spots that we calculated out on all 6 of these. Plus a bonus one here, although it's in a 0 row and a 0 column, so that one was obviously a water. So we'll pause again, leave it up, see if you can solve them, and I'll be back just a sec with the solutions. And a quick flash back to see those 5, and we'll do this last one together, so you can check your answers on these. And we'll solve this one. I need 0 in this row, boop, 3 in this row, 1, 2, 3, 1 in the column, already got it. Three in this column. Can't hit this square because that would make 2 ships touching. So that's got to be my third. Likewise, can't touch this ship, so I got that space off and that space off. So there's that one. I have 2, 3 ships that I need. I've got one of them marked already, but I need another one. So it's got to go in this 3 row. 1, 2, 3. Finishes this, finishes this, finishes this. Thanks, lights. So the last torpedo spot would be there. And that's Battleship. As always, questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. Otherwise, until next time, this has been Eliott. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day and don't explode. Bye.